Os. Welcome UNLV students to the Shotokan Karate Studies program. By now you should know you've already warmed up, you've gotten the warm-up that you feel your body needs, you're adequate for starting the program this morning. So let's go ahead and get started with our typical, quick, general warm-up. Ready? And Hajime. Ichi. Ni. San. Yon. Go. All right, warmed up good there. Let's turn to the side, bring our heels to our glutes. Good, all right. Let's go ahead and do some high knees as well. Get my workout recorded, here we go. High knees. You can do this slow, just like I'm doing. Again, just bringing your knees up. You can do it fast if you feel like kind of bouncing a little bit, working your calves a little bit. Or if you want to go slow, go slow. And yame. All right, let's come up on our toes, stretching out our calves. And yame. Very good. All right, let's go ahead and do some body hip twists. And yame. Good. Arm up, across the side, stretching out our shoulder. Good, other side. Again, don't hold these too long. Just doing dynamic stretches here. Nothing too static, nothing being held for too long. Switching over. Other side. Good. Feet just widen shoulder width. Go down, touch the floor. Go to the right. Back to center. Go to the left. Back to center. All right, make that a little wider. We're gonna go down to the right, turning up on our left heel, stretching out our hamstring. Good, now we're gonna turn to the left in a long front stance. Pushing on the quad here, pushing the knee over the toe. And down to a runner stand, or a runner stretch. Good. Back up. All right, we're gonna do everything to the other side now. Leaning to the left onto the right heel. Toes pointed up. Stretching out your hamstring. All right, let's rotate that all the way around. Good front stance, long, deep, pushing on the quad, pushing the knee out over the toe, getting a good stretch. Transition that into a runner stretch. And come back to center, come back standing. Good. Turn around, fix your gi. Back to me. Yoi. Subirachi. Break. Yoi. Seiza. Dojo-kun. 一つ、人格完成に人を盛ること。一つ、誠の道を守ること。一つと力の精神を養うこと。一つ、礼儀を重んずること。一つ、景気の湯を戒めること。Ready? That's it. よい。すばらしい。Ready? よい。So today's class is an intermediate class. This is intermediate class number 9. What we're doing today is actually want to go through some kata, and then as we go through the kata, we're going to pull some of the techniques from the kata and go through the bunkai for them. So how would we actually apply the kata that we are actually demonstrating? So again, this is something that you should be able to do on your own as well. Anytime you go through a kata, at some point you should be able to stop and break that kata down and say, how would I actually apply some of the techniques that I'm learning in this kata to a real application, to a real fight situation, to a kumite situation. And typically whenever I'm teaching what I like to do for each belt level, let's say you're learning Han Yandan, so I would actually teach the techniques that lead you up to learning Han Yandan, if you don't already know them from previous belts. So some of the techniques that would be new would be like Shutouchi, where you get into the cat stance with your Urakaduchi. So I would teach those techniques leading up to learning Han Yandan. Then I would actually pull some kumite. So actually whenever you would practice one-on-one with someone or the other students in class, we would actually practice a couple of kumite that we would have pulled from Han Yandan. Therefore, when you start to do Han Yandan, then you understand the techniques a little bit better. You've already practiced them a few times, so you kind of know how the flow should work. All right, so that said, let's go ahead and do just a light warm-up of Han Shodan. Then we're going to go ahead and do Han Nidan, and then we'll pull some kumite, and we'll practice some kumite from Han Nidan. Then we'll go to Sandan and do the same thing until we're able, probably try to get up to Teki Shodan before the end of class today. So let's see how well that goes. All right, so again, let's go ahead and start with Han Shodan. So let's start back where you typically start your kata. And every time we do kata for this class in particular, I want you to go through at your own speed and pace unless I say otherwise. Because at this intermediate level, right, you should have a good pace that you're doing all these kata. There's not really anything new that you're learning here as far as an advanced kata. So all the kata that you should know up to this point, you should know everything all the way up to Teki Shodan, I believe. So again, this is an intermediate class, and this should probably go all the way up to like purple belt. I would call advanced classes all three of the brown belts getting into black belt. So again, that kind of sets the precedent for the class. Hopefully you understand about where your level is, your skill level, so that you can participate properly in the class. If you're still a lower level, a beginner level, but you're like getting up there, maybe you're a green belt, orange belt, all right, and so you know some of these kata, then participate in the class, and where maybe you're going to pick up some things, maybe you're going to learn some things that prepare you for your next belt level. So I don't want to shy you away if you're a beginner, but you're an advanced beginner. I don't want to shy you away from participating in class. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started again. Han Shodan. So this, let's go at a slower pace, at a warm-up pace, all right? And then we'll get into the other kata as well as the bunkai for those kata. Ready? We'll go through protocol together. Surachi. Right? Yoi. Hand Shotokan, slower pace, warm-up pace. And Hajime.
Alright, so hopefully you were going at a slower pace, kind of there with me a little bit. I sped up a little bit towards the end, my apologies there. So let's go ahead and, so in my opinion, hand Shotokan is very self-explanatory, right? Anything you could pull from there is easy to explain with Bunkai, but there's not a lot of difference, right? There's not a lot of defense that turns into offense, because you turn into defense all the way here. Then you turn defense, offense. And the defense offense is very simple. The only offense in this entire kata is your oizuki punch. Okay? So you're just blocking and then punching. So Bunkai for Heian Shotokan is very simple, right? It would be if I'm standing here and someone were to come from the side and they were going to throw a front kick, I'm just turning to block that and then punching. Okay? Because that's exactly what you do at the beginning. The only other Bunkai that really I can pull from this would be if someone were to grab my wrist, then I'm turning, pulling away, and throwing that Tetsu Uchi, that hammer fist. Okay? So again, if you kind of look at the kata, you should be able to pull some of these things from the kata to really understand how they would work effectually. So yeah, because as you think about it, everything is either strict defense or strict offense, except for when you're turning with that gate on and then returning a punch or throwing an oizuki punch, so more of an attacking or lunging punch. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and do hand nidan. All right. So again, all kata going forward are going to be at your own speed and pace. So whatever you feel it takes to get through the kata, that's what I want you to do. So hand nidan. Okay. Your own speed and pace. Make sure you have room behind you for your kick. Ready? Everything on your own. Hajime. Heian nidan. Hey. Give it a few seconds. And yame. All right, very good. So there is the kata heian nidan. Now, what I'd like to pull from this one, and again, it doesn't have to be in the exact same order, right? What I want to pull are specific techniques that maybe are unique for the kata, and again, try to put those into practice. So what I'd like to pull out of this is this window pane block, all right? This, the bow block, all right? So again, the bow block is here. It's in a back stance. So what does that mean just to start, okay? Just to start, we know that we're moving away from our opponent, okay? But we're still locking into a good, sturdy stance, okay? So it's as if someone were throwing a punch, okay? Maybe even throwing a high roundhouse kick, and you're blocking, all right? Someone would throw the roundhouse kick coming this direction. I'm blocking with my window pane and this hand as well, okay? Same thing if I go this direction.
it could come from either direction, and your hand is in a good position to block both sides of your body. All right, so what I like to do, let's say our attacker is throwing an Oizuki punch and a roundhouse kick, all right? And then they're gonna throw another Oizuki or Gaikuzuki punch. So, and then you're gonna return, all right? So you're gonna counterattack with a Gaikuzuki punch, all right? So what it would look like as the defender, as you stand here, all right? So all of our Kumite, and we'll do this from a couple different angles. So all of your Kumite, you would stand here, you would say, "Hai," after you announce the Kumite, which we won't get into, but you're here. You and your opponent are standing face to face, just like this, in Shisentai. You announce, "Hai." Your opponent, is the attacker, will step back into Gedan Barai. Okay, you stay here. Because as a defender, you really don't know what's coming, and therefore you're not gonna step back into a Gedan Barai or any kind of stance. You're gonna stand here, prepare for the attack. All right, so the attack for this would be, as your opponent is here, they're going to punch, punch again, punch again. Okay, so 3 Oizuki punches. And you're going to block all 3 with 2 bow blocks, a Shotokan block, because we're still in back stance as we're backing away. And then we're going to return or counterattack with a Gaikuzuki reverse punch. All right, so let's see how that would look as you stand here in ready stance. Your opponent is as well. You announce "Hai." They step back into Gedan Barai Kumite. You announce "Hai" again when you're ready for the attack to begin. "Hai," and you begin. 1, 2, 3, 4. You both come back to Shizentai, bow to each other. And that would be a demonstration of the Kumite. Let's go through that a couple of times at regular speed as much as possible. So this first time I'll go through it at a slow speed. I'm going to count it out again. Ichi, bow block. Ni, bow block. San, Shotokan. Yon, reverse punch, counter attack. Okay, Gaikuzuki. All right, so let's try that together. Ready? Hai. Hai. And we didn't try it together at all, did we? All right, so this time let me count it out for you. That was a good demo at high speed or regular speed. Let's try it again. Ready? On my count. Here, Hai. Your opponent drops back into Gedan Barai. Hai. Ichi. Ni. San. Yon. Yame. Bow. Ready? And done. All right, let's do that a couple more times. This time I'm going to turn to this side, and then I'll go from this direction, and then we'll go again from this from the front direction. And again, this time let's go at a regular speed. I don't want to go high speed. Let's just go to regular speed. I know this is your first time really putting these blocks into action, and typically when we do the kata, we're just dropping here and here. This time you're actually moving. Right, so this time you're actually putting that block into an application, and for a lot of people that's very strange and it's very new because you're not used to doing something like that. So let's try it again. This time again at your own pace. I'm not going to count it out, but I will go somewhat slower. Ready? Hai. Hai. Good. All right, let's do it again. A couple different angles. Ready? Just want to make sure I have room, and I do. And hey, hey, hey. All right, let's do it again. Another angle. Ready? Hey. 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 couple more times. Do it 3 more times. This time speed it up a little bit, all right? Those 3, pretty slow, pretty methodical, thinking about each technique before you move into the technique. If you have questions here, again, put them in the comments, but all you're doing here is walking backwards in back stance, right? You should be familiar with that as an intermediate student. So again, just from here, it's back stance, back stance, back stance. And then you're shifting from back stance into the Zenku Sudachi front stance to throw that Gaikuzuki reverse punch. All right, so fairly simple, and again, techniques that you should be very familiar with at this level. All right, so let's go through again 3 times, somewhat regular speed. All right, so try to speed up from where you were just performing this. I'll go this side, and then we'll go straight to the middle again. Ready? Hey, hey, hey. All right, good. Good hip twist on that reverse punch, right? This is where your power comes because you're transitioning from that back stance. So make sure you get that good hip twist to throw that punch, all right? Let's go from this side. Ready? Hey, hey, hey. And something else that I'm not doing, but you should do, and you can do at any moment, is change it up. All right, so every time here, I'm starting with this bow block. All right, you can start the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so don't be afraid to switch it up, change it up. That's kind of the point of us doing this several times. As we go forward with the other kumite, I will change it up. But if you're watching this video, maybe it's the 2nd or 3rd time you're watching it, change it up, all right? If you're doing it all right to start, next time you watch the video, go all left. Or try to change it up, and remember to change it up as you go through it each time. All right, let's go through it again here from the front. This time I will change it up. Ready? Hey! 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 All right, very good. Okay, so that's how the rest of these are gonna go. So we're gonna go through hand sandan, yandan, godan, and if we have time, teki shodan. And we're gonna try to pull some bunkai from each one of those kata. Okay, so let's go through hand sandan. Again, all kata at your own speed and pace. Even protocol, okay? All right, hand sandan. Hand sandan. Hey. Hey. Okay, a few seconds for you. And yame, very good. All right, so the bunkai that I want to pull out of this, really the only thing that's kind of new here would be this leg check, stepping into kibadachi, this block, okay, as his arm comes across, and then landing that Shotokan uchi, right? So we kind of learn this when you learn the kata, so you should kind of know what this is and what we're doing. So if you're here and we're doing kumite, you say height, you say, when you're ready, you say height again. So for this, your opponent may be throwing a kick, or they're close enough that they're getting ready to throw a kick. So what you're going to do is throw a leg check. Leg check is you step in, then they're going to throw a punch that you're going to just block or deflect out to the side there, coming down with that Shotokan uchi. So what does that look like as the attacker? And we're here, the defender yells, or says height, says they're ready, step back. They say height again when they're ready, and we begin the actual kumite. So first is my round kick. They're gonna leg check that. Then I'm going to punch. That gets deflected. Now that opens up this entire portion of my body, right? That punch got deflected. Now they're gonna come back and land with that back fist strike, that Shotokan somewhere in here. The bridge of my nose, my chin, something like that. All right, so again, as the defender, or as the attacker, I'm here. You would say height. I'll step back. You say height when you're ready for my attack. Height, and I begin. 1, 2, deflection, and then the strike comes in. Okay, so you understand what that looks like as the attacker, and you understand what that looks like as a defender. So let's try it. Shizentai. When you're ready, height. You're both ready. Your opponent has stepped back. Your attacker has stepped back in the gate of Arai. You say height again when you're ready. We're going to go through this slow. This is only 3 moves. Ichi, ni, san. Ready? Ichi, ni, san, ai. Step back. Yoi. Ready. And back to yoi. That would be exactly what it would look like if you were in a dojo and we were working in partners around the room. All right, so again, you switch off. Now you would attack. Maybe you defend 2 or 3 times, but then you need to attack your opponent 2 or 3 times so that you get the feel for both. And that's how that would work again in a dojo setting. Doesn't really do much for us as an attacker. If you want to practice the attacks, that's perfectly fine. But we're here for the defense, so that's what we're going to practice. So let's go through that again on the sides here at a slow pace, and then we'll pick up the speed a little bit. Okay, ready? I'm going to stand back a little bit because there's not much movement with this one. So you're in yoi, height. Your opponent steps back. By the numbers again. Height. One more time, actually by the numbers. Ready? Height. Height. Ichi, ni, san. Step back. Bow to each other. Good. This side, by the numbers. Ready? Height. Height. Ichi, ni, san. All right, now let's pick up the pace a little bit. Okay, so just again, think about this as you go through this. So you're here, and I'm going to switch legs this time. Even though the kata, right, you always start with your right leg. So this time, but you transition to your left. So I'm going to transition here. We're going to transition to our left leg. If you haven't already, if you're not switching back and forth, now's the time to switch it. All right, so your opponent is kicking, that round kick, your leg check, stepping into their space as they land that punch that you deflect, and then Shotokan uchi. Okay, so it really depends on where that round kick is coming, okay, as which leg you're throwing your leg check with, right? So if you're here, that round kick is coming from this side, okay, it's coming from the left. They're kicking with their left leg. So as the attacker, I step back here. My left leg is going to do the kick. 1, 2 is my punch, right? That gets deflected. Your leg check needs to move in that direction somewhat. Okay, that's kind of why you shift back and forth. So if you're here and they're stepping back, you see their left leg is back, so you know which direction you're going to do your leg check. Right? So let your attacker kind of dictate your next move. All right, so if I'm here and you say height, and I step back here, you know the round kick is coming with this leg. You know then it's coming around from here Therefore, you're gonna leg check with your right leg. If they're kicking with their right, leg check with your right. Bring it up towards them, bounce off that punch, and then the strike comes down. All right? If you say height and they step back with their left, you know the kick is coming from the left, therefore you want to leg check left. Height, you step back, height again, you see the leg coming, leg check it, you see their punch is coming, and then the Shotokan. All right? So again, the attacker here is, okay, again from the other side, the attack, again, those are the kick, they're trying to land the punch at the same time, and then you're deflecting and you're Shotokan uchi. All right, so let's go through this a little bit faster this time. Not amazing speed, I'm not looking for a fight speed here. A little bit faster, switch sides. Okay, if you did it with the right the first few times, probably you did. Let's do it with the left this time. Ready? And let me step back a little bit. Height! Height! Let's go to this side. Step back a little. Ready? Height! Height! All right, and this side. Ready? Height! 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 All right. A good one to practice, again, that portion of the kata repeats 3 times, left and right. So just practicing the kata alone helps you kind of get through that, even though you only perform, well, all 3 of that, right? So the leg check, the deflection, and then the Shotokan, you practice it 3 times, moving forward. And essentially what you're doing is backing up your opponent, or backing up 3 separate opponents who are kind of doing the same thing. Maybe they're throwing a front kick and then trying to land the punch, okay? You back that person up. So as the attacker, I'm here, you're there. I go to kick, it gets leg checked. I go to punch, it gets deflected. Shotokan uchi, I'm off to the side, holding my nose. The second person comes in right behind me, right? They're kicking other side. It gets leg checked, they go to punch, deflection. Now I'm off to the side, my nose is broken. The third person comes in and does the same thing. So that's essentially what's happening in that particular section. Or if you wanted to imagine it being one person, maybe your Shotokan's not landing, so you're repeating and repeating as you back them up. That's fine as well, okay? All right, so let's go through Hen Yondan, all right? Hen Yondan has this fan block, all right? And so we're gonna incorporate that into our Kumite, so just think about that fan block, all right? So again, let's go through kata, your own speed and pace. Ready? And hajime. Hen Yondan. And yame. Good. All right, so Hen Yondan has this beautiful fan block that starts. This is a legitimate block. Okay, it's very similar to the bow block that we just performed. So again, for this one, you're gonna step back with that fan block. Let's talk about the fan block. What does it kind of represent? Okay, so if you're standing in a anywhere, out in public, and someone were to throw a punch. A haymaker's coming in, even when they flinch. Okay, the first thing you typically do is guard your head. You throw your hands up like that. That's the first thing that you should kind of do, right? You're looking in your peripheral, you kind of see what's coming around. You see that haymaker coming, you tend to step back a little and throw your hands up. That's kind of what this fan block is representing. If you're here, you yell height, height again. Your opponent's coming in with a punch. You're throwing your hands up to block, defending your head, okay? So you blocked it. Now I want you to step in with a yoko geri. So fan block, step in, yoko geri, grab their head, empty uchi. Where did we grab all that from? Exactly from the kata, right? We've done our fan block, even though they're not connected, these techniques. You grab your fan block, we've incorporated a portion of the kata specifically. You also, after you do your Maroto Uke, go here with a side kick, reaching and grabbing your opponent for that empty-uchi, that elbow strike. So we're incorporating techniques directly from the kata again. All right, so for this, we're gonna go by the numbers. Ichi, number 1, is gonna be you kind of throwing your hands up, blocking, making sure that strike doesn't come in. Okay, so you could be just blocking with this into their arm. All right, so I'm the opponent, or I'm your attacker, and I'm just throwing a good haymaker. As that punch comes around, it's getting blocked quickly. I'm here, I moved in and kind of blocked that from coming. Okay, now I can step and perform my kick to the side, reaching up still with this hand, grabbing the head, the hair, even the lapel of their shirt or their gi, pulling them in to your elbow. You're not actually hitting your hand with your elbow. And that represents either that you're grabbing here and making contact with your target, or you're grabbing their lapel, making contact with their face. Again, that's that representation of what is happening. Okay, so let's go ahead and go through that again by the numbers. Ichi, fan block, knee, side kick, san, empty uchi, elbow strike. All right, ichi, knee, and san. By the numbers, all right, we're going to do it 6 times just like we've done with the others. Start here. Hai, your opponent steps back. When you're ready, hai, ichi, knee, san. Be soft with your opponent, okay? If you're actually doing this with a live person, be soft with your opponent. Don't land these kicks hard, all right? Yes, that haymaker that comes, throw your hands up and block it. Throw your kick, easy. Make contact with them. Make them know you're there, but don't blast them off their feet. Grabbing the back of their head or their lapel, slow in for that empty uchi. Don't break someone's nose, don't knock out someone's teeth because you're practicing. All right, so let's go to the side. Keep it the same this time for the first 3, and then we'll change it up for the next 3. So again, 1 for this side. When we go to the next 3, we'll move to the other side. It'll be a right kick and then envy. All right, ready? Hai, hai, ichi, ni, san. From this side. Hai, hai, ichi, ni, san. All right, now let's go ahead and move. The other thing you can do is wear a helmet, okay? So if you're practicing with a live person, you are more than welcome to pick up something like this. You can get these on Amazon for between $20 and $50. Maybe Facebook Marketplace, you can get them used for 10 or 20. Okay, this is great for this type of thing so you don't accidentally kick somebody in the face with the jaw, so that you don't actually elbow somebody in the face with the jaw. This is really good protection if you want to try something like this. Again, easily available online. Several different websites have something like this for you to practice with a partner. All right. Okay, so let's go again. 3 more. This time, let's try to bring up the speed a little bit. I know we're switching sides, so that makes it somewhat more difficult. But you're intermediate. You should be able to do this. So, height. Not by the numbers, at your own speed and pace. Ready? So we've already said height once. Okay. And height. Let's go to another side. Ready? Height. 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 Good. One more. Ready? Height. 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 All right. Very good. All right, so a little bit of commentary there as well. The height of your kick. Now, we're pulling specifically from Hein Yandan, so yes, your kick should be Chudan level, so somewhere in here. All right, but if you're practicing this and you're actually putting it into a real life application, maybe you don't want the kick to be there. Maybe because of the way your opponent is standing, you want your kicks to be lower or higher. All right, so make that adjustment on the fly as your opponent is coming in. Okay, so if you block this, and you see their leg or their knee is right there, a good side kick just might be right there to the knee. Okay, they're stepping, they're throwing that punch, it gets blocked and held, their knee is right there. You want to take out their knee. That brings their head to you. Now you can grab their head and pull them into that Mpiuchi. All right, so just some things to think about. Think about the real world as you work with an opponent, which is kind of the good thing of working with a live person, is that you can kind of see how people react. Then you know if a real situation were to come up, typically how someone's going to react. All right. So just again, something to work with, something to think about is actually having a live partner to work with as you go through some of these videos, especially anything that works on Kumite specifically. All right. So let's go ahead and move to hand Godan. All right, hand Godan, kata number 5. Again, let's go through this at your own speed and pace. Probably not going to make it through Techie today. I can already see the time. So let's just go through Hand Godan. We'll work those Kumite for Hand Godan, and then we'll wrap up class for today. Okay? Ready? Your own speed and pace. Hajime. Hand Godan. Few seconds for you to finish. So this is a bit more complex. It's probably the most complex that we'll look at today anyway. So you're here. You gotta make sure I have room. Okay, so for this one, we're going to take this portion right after the beginning. You're here. You step into Muroto Uke. And then you do a low block, high block, grab your hands together like this, move this hand out, and move forward for an Oizuki punch. Okay, so let's think about that as an attack. All right, so as an attacker, I'm back here. I'm going to throw a punch, gets blocked with Muroto Uke. Next up is another punch. I'm going low. So maybe to your gut or your stomach area, I'm trying to get underneath that punch, or underneath that block. You block me low. Now I'm going to come down from the top. All right. Maybe it's a hammer fist from the top. Maybe I've got a weapon in this hand, a knife. Okay, I'm stabbing down. All right. So what you've done is you've blocked up, right? So we've gone down. Now we've blocked up. Now we're taking control of this hand, bringing it to the side. Now you're going to twist over and move forward with the punch. All right. So again, as the attacker, so I'm here. I'm striking with my knife. I've missed with the Muroto Uke. Now I'm striking down. Gets blocked down. Now I'm going to stab there. You blocked up, and now you're controlling my hand, bringing it down. Remember, that's the fold part. You're bringing it down. Then you're crossing it out, opening me up, and punching. Okay? I hope that makes sense to you. All right, so as the defender, you step back. Here comes the first slash with the knife. Muroto Uke. Now you're punching low. Block. Now comes the stab with the knife. Up. Control the wrist. Pull it in. Grab their hand. Pressing it out and over. And the punch. Alright, so you can step forward if you like with that punch, or it can just be here. Alright, so again, having a live person really helps you understand how best to move. So if they've moved away, as you've pulled that hand away, if they moved away, you want to move with them to get that punch in. If they're still very close and tight, you're here, you can just throw the punch. Okay, so think about that again, think about how that would work with an opponent. How many moves are we doing? Muroto, 1, low, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 moves. All right, so let's count this one out. All right, we're here. You say height, we're both ready. Your opponent step back and negate on Mariah Kumite. You say height again, stepping back. Muroto Uke, Ichi. Stepping forward, ni, son, shi, go, roku. And then you would step back, okay? That's your 6 moves. Let's keep it to the right. Let's keep it just like the kata for this. All right, so let's try it again from this side. Again, by the numbers. Ready? Height, height, ichi, ni, son, shi, go, roku. Let's go from the other side, and then we're going to break it down again. I want to be very clear on what this is looking like and what it should look like with an attacker and your defender. Okay. So again, let's go here. Ready? Height, height, ichi, ni, son, shi, go, roku. All right. I really hope you can see what this looks like, because it looks very cool whenever you actually do this with an opponent, with a live person. So again, as the attacker, got a knife in this hand. So the knife blade would be coming out. I don't have my knife here, do I? I do not. I'll grab it. Okay, so I have a knife like this. Blade is pointing down. All right, so I've stepped back in the gate on. All right, my knife is ready. Ichi, I'm slashing. As it comes back, it's blocked. All right, Muroto Uke. Ni, I'm trying to punch. It gets blocked. Low. Son. I try to stab down, you blocked. Now you're taking control of my hand and bringing it down. That's yang. Go. You're pulling that arm out and away, opening me up. And the next move is, after go, roku, right? So you're punching me in the face, the chest, and the arm to try to get me to drop the blade. Okay, so again, let's try that. Height, and height. 1, blocked. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's what that should look like to the opponent, all right? As the defender, again, you're here, that slash, it misses, you're blocking it, itchy. Now the punch comes low, knee, you blocked it. Sun, that knife is coming down, you block here. Young, take control, bring it to here. Go, twisting out. Roku, punch or punch. It's going to depend on how your opponent is reacting, how close they are to everything. All right, so let's try it again. Let's move up our speed, okay, from this side. We'll do it from the front and then we'll go to the sides, okay? Ready? Height. Height. All right, remember you're taking control of that wrist that has the knife. All right, so as it comes down, you're blocking it there, wrapping your hand around the wrist, controlling it to here, and then moving it out, right? Twisting that arm out. All right, you've got control, move it out, and then the punch. All right, from here, height, height, on this side, ready? Height, height, height. All right, one more time from the front. Again, I just want to make sure you fully have a grasp on what's happening here. So from here, ready? Height, height, height. All right, so that's really all I have for class today. We don't really have time to get into Teki Shotokan and the bunkai that goes along with that. If this is something you enjoy, we could definitely do more of this. Just put some comments down below. We'll do some more of this intermediate style Kumite. So let's go ahead and end class. Yoi, Subirachi, right? Yoi. Seiza. All right, for today's meditation, pick any one of those kumite that we've been through today and go through it several times in your mind. Again, thinking about how your opponent may react, thinking about how you may want to change your counterattack. So again, just kind of go through this in your mind and think about something in particular if this were a real world situation. Okuso. Mokuso yame, zensen yore. Tate. Yoi. Subirachi. Right. Yoi. Pulse. All right, thank you very much for joining me. Again, comments are always welcome. If you need to contact me directly, you know how to do that by now. I'm happy to respond and give any feedback maybe that you're asking questions about. And I'm looking for feedback from you as well. So if there's particular classes that you're enjoying or not enjoying, let me know. I'll change it up as we continue to go forward. Thank you very much for joining me, and we'll see you in the next class.